waking up and the stars align. SSG, I'm in my prime. Hey, wanna join the gang, but you ain't got ties. Pulling right up, right where you reside.
Okay, so this is the first video that we're gonna be reacting to. I don't remember the name of this movie, but this movie was fire. Me and my girl watched it together. It's kind of like a psychological slash, like, not horror I would say, but similar to horror, I guess thriller. But it's a good twist, a good spin at the end. It's what you think is happening is not what you think. But it's basically about these people that end up, what do you call it, swatting, when you stay in somebody's house. It's not your property. But yeah, I mean, this guy, will get into it, and then, you know, y'all will get my reaction to it. But yeah, it was a good movie all around. I don't remember the name of it though. I just remember the cover with this mask, and I was like, oh, holy shit, that looks scary. That's the reason why it made me want to watch it. But let's get into it.
Genre of horror movie that's basically extinct now. The kind where you genuinely have no idea what's going to happen next. Not because it's random, because the filmmaker actually planned something you won't see coming. Those barely exist anymore. Everything's a remake or a sequel or based on some popular IP that already...
That's true. Everything is being remade. I'm not gonna lie. There are no like new ideas. And if it's not like a actual remake in title, it's like a copy of another script of another movie that's already been done. Like, what's that movie with the guy that played Professor X, but not the old Professor X, the young one, and he played in Split. He played in that new... He's a good actor though, really good actor. I just can't remember his name. James McAvey? Is that him? I think so. Yeah, this guy. He's a good actor, but he played in a recent movie. Yeah, Speak No Evil. This entire script, or I guess like the entire story to the film, to me, honestly, was like a remake adaptation of People Under the Stairs. And allegedly, they're supposed to be redoing that movie too. But that was a good movie too. I remember growing up on that movie as a kid and seeing that, and I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. That movie made me nervous, feel uneasy. But this was basically just a remake of, well, Speak No Evil was a remake of People Under the Stairs. Again, I think I have to stop getting into the habit of spoiling movies, so y'all watch both of them and let me know what y'all think. But me personally, I feel like it was just a remake of that. But let's get back to it.
He told you the whole story on Twitter. I See You came out in 2019, and
that's what it's called. I See You. This movie right here.
Nobody watched it. It opened the same weekend as Captain Marvel and Dumbo, which is how you know the studio wanted it to die quietly. And it almost did. It made about $4 at the box office, more than I make.
Damn, really? And it's crazy because I remember like seeing this movie. Well, not seeing it like posters of it. Like, I didn't even know it came out in theater, basically is what I'm trying to say. I only seen it like on covers of like Hulu and like streaming platforms. I didn't even know it came to theater, but it was a good movie though. I'm not even gonna lie.
Die quietly, and it almost did. It made about $4 at the box office, more than I make, and then it got dumped on streaming, and that should have been the end. Except people who actually saw it.
It's definitely a streaming movie though. Like I said, I didn't even think it came to theater. It just seemed like it would have went straight to streaming.
Shut up about it. Not in the normal way where people say, oh, that was good, but more in the way where they'd grab you by the shoulders and say, you need to watch this right now and I can't tell you why. So I watched it, and about 40 minutes in, I paused it because I was like, what's going on? I'm being lied to here. It's just another haunted house movie with a family falling apart and objects mysteriously moving around. Been there, done that. We've got the emotional...
I didn't get no paranormal vibe from this movie though. I definitely thought it was just like somebody in their crib. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was a ghost.
Trauma. But then I kept watching, and the movie did something that I've genuinely never seen done before. It stopped, rewound itself, and showed me that everything I just watched was...
That dog meme is so hilarious. That's how I was though when I was watching this, and it came to the plot twist. I was like, what the fuck? The plot twist is crazy. I love movies like that. That's like, it has a plot twist to it, and it's not what you thinking.
Different than what I thought was watching. Here's what I can tell you without ruining it. The movie has 2 twists. First one makes you go, oh, that's clever. The second one made me go get up and check if my front door was locked. And then check again,
Fix.
and then check my attic, which I don't think I'd been in since I moved into this house 3 years ago. This is the story of I See You, and why it's one of the most underrated horror movies of all time. It all starts when a 10-year-old boy disappears. His name's Justin Witter, and he's riding his bike through the park on a sunny afternoon. It's normal kid stuff, and then something just yanks him off the bike hard. The movie doesn't show you what does it, which is a smart choice because your brain fills in the worst things that any special effect could. His bike's then left there with the wheels still spinning. The cops then show up and find a green
Yeah, he got
pocket knife
stay
at the
high.
scene.
I
And this is
remember
where things get complicated because the same type of knife was found in a bunch of child abductions 15 years ago. Someone already went to prison for those crimes though, so either there's a copycat or they locked up the wrong guy, or something else is happening that nobody's figured out yet. Detective Greg Harper gets assigned to the case. He's your standard movie detective. He keeps everything bottled up and probably hasn't smiled since 2003, just like a normal father figure should. And his home life is a complete disaster. His wife Jackie just had an affair and their teenage son Connor won't even look at her. The breakfast scene is brutal. Jackie tries to make this nice meal and Connor just refuses to eat it. He sits there radiating pure teenage hatred. Greg's caught in the middle, which would be rough if...
What did he play in, this boy? Didn't he play in that... He played in that Babysitter movie on Netflix, right? I'm pretty sure.
he wasn't investigating a child kidnapping. The film sets up two parallel mysteries here. The obvious one is the missing kid. The domestic tension is just as important. You've got a family that's already broken before anything supernatural or weird happens, and that's gonna matter later. A lot of horror movies forget that you need to care about the people.
Bro, I don't know if y'all knew this. They even redoing Jason now. Literally. Remaking everything.
Before you scare them. So Greg goes to work on the case and Jackie stays home. And this is when the house starts doing things that it shouldn't. Small stuff at first though. Doors creaking, items getting moved
Monster
around,
House was
and then
peak.
it escalates. A repairman shows up to fix a broken window, does his job, and on his way out, he thanks Jackie's daughter for letting him inside. Which is a problem because the Harpers don't have a daughter. Jackie's just standing there trying to process what he said, and the guy's already driving away. Then the silverware disappears, but not like one fork. All of it. Every piece gone. Family photos get pulled out of their frames. Just the pictures. The frames stay on the wall. The TV turns itself on in the middle of the night. It's classic haunted house behavior. Except Jackie's starting to think that she's losing it because nobody else is seeing this stuff happen. What's effective here is how the movie plays it straight. The music, the camera work, everything's telling you that this is a ghost story. You're supposed to think something paranormal is happening. The film's counting on you making that assumption because it needs you wrong for the twist.
I didn't
to
think
work.
that, though.
Greg starts noticing things too.
I think it's a certain way that like paranormal movies are filmed, and also like I don't know, looking at the cover it just looks like it's a mask, so you would think it's like a slasher film. Like I think that's kind of what I was thinking going into it, so I thought it was somebody off rip. I thought it was somebody in their crib. I didn't think it was paranormal, but again the twist on it is crazy. It's a good twist.
In a closet in Connor's room, like physically trapped, the door won't open, and he's pounding on it until Jackie hears him and pulls it open from the outside. But nobody's there. Nothing's blocking it. The door just wouldn't open, and now it does. And then Jackie sees something under Connor's bed one night. She's checking on him, and there's this black frog mask just staring out from under the mattress. She doesn't know what to make of it. Doesn't
Man,
want
that
to
shit
start a
would've
fight with Connor,
scared me.
so she just leaves.
But honestly, I would have found out that it was somebody in my crib right there, because like the way that the mask was sitting underneath the bed, it was like on its side like that, so it don't look like a mask can't just sit like that, bro. I would have kicked the shit out that mask, and that's how I would have found out somebody was in my house. Especially because like I'm gonna be like, why the fuck does my son have this weird ass mask underneath his bed? I would at least try to grab it, like, yo, what is this?
Alone, which is the kind of decision you only make when your family's already.
But again, the kid was also being like off-putting to his mom, because his mom was cheating on the dad, so she probably was like, let me not go through this shit. But shit, if they was black, they wouldn't have give a fuck. Should have been like, what the fuck is underneath your bed? Would have just grabbed that shit.
Leaves it alone.
Give me that.
Which is the kind of decision you only make when your family's already so messed up that a creepy mask feels like the least of your problems. That mask is the film's visual
Bro, that
anchor.
mask is so nightmare fuel, bro. That mask is scary as hell. You said we should watch it again. You want to?
It shows up in the marketing. It's the image everyone remembers. Hell, it's probably on this thumbnail. But in context, it's just this weird, unexplained thing that Jackie sees once and doesn't follow up on. The movie's dropping clues
We do need to find another movie like this, though. Definitely.
Disguising them as red herrings. That's good screenwriting, making you look at evidence without even realizing that it's evidence. Meanwhile, Greg and his partner Spitzy are interviewing survivors from the old kidnapping case, trying to find any connection to Justin's disappearance. They visit Tommy Braun, one of the two kids who survived 15 years ago, and Tommy sees Greg and immediately has a complete breakdown. A full panic attack, he can't breathe, he's freaking out just at the sight of him. Greg assumes the kid's traumatized by anything police related, which makes sense. Doesn't think anything else of it, neither does the audience. You file it away and move on. Back at the house, Jackie's trying to hold everything together when Todd shows up. Todd's the guy she had the affair with, and he wants her back. She's telling him no, it's over, she's trying to fix her marriage. They're in the kitchen having this tense conversation, and suddenly a coffee mug...
Ain't gonna lie, that was out of pocket. If you felt any type of remorse from cheating on your husband, like, why are you just outside having a conversation? Like, how did you even let him get through your crib to get to the backyard? Like, man, fuck that. She was not over that nigga.
Falls from somewhere upstairs and hits Todd in the head, knocking him out cold. Jackie panics. She thinks Connor threw it, that her son saw Todd and lost it. So she drags Todd's unconscious body to the basement and figures she'll hide him until she can get Connor out of the house and then take Todd to the hospital. She drives Connor to school, leaves Todd bleeding in the basement, and when she comes back, he's dead. Not from the mug though, because someone beat him to death with a baseball bat. The film is now juggling 3 different mysteries, and you still think that they're all connected. The missing boy, the haunted house stuff, and now a murder. Your brain's trying to link them because that's what stories do. They connect. But ICU is counting on that instinct to misdirect you from what's actually happening. Jackie then calls Greg, and he comes home to find his wife standing over her dead lover. She's convinced Connor did it, that their son murdered someone. Greg looks at the body, looks at his wife, and makes a decision. They're gonna cover this up. That night they wrap Todd in a tarp, drive out to the woods, and bury him in a shallow grave. It's this grim, sad scene where you realize the family's completely fallen apart. They're not even questioning if they should stop doing this. They're just doing it. Greg's a cop, and he's burying a...
So, question for y'all, chat. If your significant other had off somebody, right? Are you riding or are you snitching? You're like, yo, they just killed somebody. You gonna ride for him? What y'all doing?
Body to protect his son from a murder the kid didn't commit. And while they're out in the woods, Connor's home alone, and things get worse. He finds the missing silverware stuffed in the dryer. Then he gets a message on his computer asking if he knows what frogging is. And before he can answer, if someone in a frog
this scene was crazy as hell, bro. I was like, oh shit.
Mask attacks him from behind. Greg and Jackie come home.
He said, right, of course we getting away with it. Gonna be like Bonnie and Clyde.
Unconscious in the bathtub, hands bound with duct tape and a green pocket knife, just like the one from Justin's kidnapping, sitting right there next to him. But now the movie rewinds and shows you what actually was going on. The screen goes dark and we jump back to a few days earlier, before Justin disappeared, before anything weird started happening. And we're in the attic of the Harper house watching 2 people crawl through a vent. Their names are Mindy and Alec. They're in their 20s, dirty, carrying backpacks, and they've been living in this house the entire time. They're froggers. That's the actual term for it. They are people who secretly live in occupied homes, hopping from place to place. The word comes from how frogs jump from...
You said this video is spoiling it for everyone? Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. But I mean, they didn't tell the twist though yet. They didn't tell the twist. Maybe we'll cut it off before we get to the twist. Even though this was like one of the twists, but it wasn't the main big twist. But this is like the reveal.
Lily pad to lily pad, which is cute until you realize it's describing home invasion as a lifestyle choice. As in, there might be someone in your house right now and you don't know it. Mindy's the careful one. She's got rules. Don't get seen, don't leave traces, stay quiet. Take a shower.
That's crazy to think though. Like, that really do happen. People just be like living in your crib. I think that happened to Rihanna. Somebody was living in her house for like 5 months. She didn't even know it.
Grab some food from the back.
I couldn't imagine like you have like a guest bed or guest bedroom, and you don't know somebody's just in your crib, just living in there,
Bridge.
and they able to just clean up properly, leave nothing behind until like one day they leave something out of place, or you just catch something or catch them. Like, that's crazy.
Sleep in the attic. Basic squatter etiquette. Alec's supposed to follow these rules, but he doesn't. Look, this perspective shift could have killed the momentum in the film, stopping your story halfway through to introduce.
I ain't gonna lie, this had to be before Ring cameras. My crib, Ring cameras everywhere. We make sure the doors is locked. You got a Ring camera, ain't no way you doing that.
New characters is a very risky move, but it works because you're not watching a new story. You're watching the same story from the other side of the wall. Every weird moment from Act 1 is about to make horribly terrible sense. Alex thinks that these rules are boring. He wants to mess with the family because he's bored and apparently lacks any kind of survival instincts. So at night, while Mindy's sleeping, he sneaks to the house and just does stuff. Early in the film, Greg woke up to a wet bed. Well, Alec peed on him.
Nigga was
Just
such
stood
a
over the
weirdo.
sleeping man and peed on
Fucking
him
weird.
like a territorial cat. Greg wakes up confused and embarrassed, and Alec's hiding in the shadows trying not to laugh. The missing silverware, well, Alec took it and stuffed it in the dryer. The TV turning it on, that was Alec with the remote. The photos pulled out of the frames, also Alec, who apparently has the sense of humor of a spiteful ghost, but without the excuse of being dead. Watching these scenes play out again from Alec's perspective is weirdly funny and deeply disturbing at the same time.
He just
You're
seemed like
laughing
a
at how dumb
badass
his pranks
kid that just
are,
wanted
while
attention.
also realizing how violated the Harpers are. Someone's been in their house watching them sleep. That's not funny anymore. Think about all the times you've come home and something you swear you thought you put in its right spot was missing. Was that you just forgetting, or is someone secretly living in your house? Well, Mindy finds out what he's been doing and loses it. She's terrified that they're going to get caught. Alec doesn't care. He's having too much fun playing Ghost. So Mindy starts crushing up Greg's sleeping pills and putting them in Alec's food to keep him knocked out at night, which on its own is kind of messed up, but at least it shows that she's trying and cares. And the repairman incident? Well, Mindy got careless and wandered into the open, and the guy saw her. She froze, he assumed that she was the daughter, and she let him think that. Close call. Too close. Then we get to the day Todd shows up. Alex on the roof with Jackie's coffee mug. Mindy's yelling at him to stop, and the mug slips. It's not thrown, it just slips. And it falls and cracks Todd right in the skull. Alex's eyes go wide. That wasn't supposed to happen. This went from pranks to actual harm, and even he knows that's bad. They watch Jackie drag Todd inside and hide him in the basement. Mindy's panicking now, telling Alec they need to leave immediately. He agrees, and they start packing. Now, the movie's done something clever here. You just spent 40 minutes thinking that these were paranormal events, and now you know it's just two idiots squatting in an attic. The fear shifts from supernatural to real. Ghosts.
Now, do we watch the next so that y'all can see the next twist on it? Because, I mean, either way, if y'all go and watch this video, he going to go into it. Or do we cut it off right here? Because we already kind of got through the first twist. But the really bigger twist comes next. I don't know.
Cannot hurt you, but two unstable people living in your walls absolutely can. And you had no idea they were there. Mindy heads down to leave, but here's something.
Alright, this is what I'm going to do. You said no? Alright. This is spoiler alert. If you got to this part of the video, if you have not watched this movie, it sounds interesting. Because obviously he's not going to say it. He's just going over the video. But yeah, if you want to see this entire movie and see the main twist to it, click off this video, go watch the movie, come back to this video. You feel me? So you can finish the reaction. So this is the cutoff. If you ain't watched the movie, you want to watch it, go watch it now. Alright. So we're going to finish reacting to it. See what else he talking about. So again, we about to find out the big twist.
Something in the basement, so she creeps down the stairs and sees Jackie leaving Todd there, promising to come back. And then Jackie drives off with Connor. Before Mindy can do
Again, spoiler alert. Just letting y'all know. Click off, come back.
anything, Greg comes home. She watches from the shadows as Greg walks up to the injured, barely conscious Todd, and Greg picks up a baseball bat and beats him to death. Just cold, murder. Mindy's hand goes over her mouth. She just watched a cop kill someone. Greg then walks upstairs like nothing happened, and later Mindy watches through a window as he convinces Jackie that Connor must have done it. She sees them bury the body together in the woods, and now Mindy knows that she's trapped in a house with a murderer. She runs upstairs to get Alec to leave right now, but when she gets there, Alec's in Connor's bathroom tying up the unconscious kid with a duct tape, and he's wearing the frog mask. Connor's out cold. This is where Alec crosses from annoying prankster into actual criminal. Tying up a teenager isn't a joke anymore. Mindy knows this and screams at him to stop. Alec's defensive and saying that he's
It's
buying
not
him
funny.
time
The Homelander meme is fucking hilarious.
to escape. Neither of them are obviously thinking clearly. Fear is making people stupid, and Alec was already kind of stupid. They then fight, and Mindy threatens to call the cops on Alec herself. He tries to grab her phone, she pulls back, he shoves her, and Mindy falls. It goes tumbling down the stairs and hits hard and stops moving at the bottom. Alec rushes down, she's unconscious, maybe worse, and he can hear a car pulling up. Greg and Jackie are coming back from burying Todd. There's no time, so Alec picks up Mindy's limp body and carries her to the garage and trunk of Greg's car, and then he runs. What Alec doesn't know is that—
Damn, I just remembered the other twist. It is 3 twists. What the fuck? The last big twist. I just remembered that. That's crazy. Alright. Yeah. So again, spoiler alert.
Greg's about to drive that exact car.
Now, this was
up
a
to
good
search
movie.
for whoever attacked Connor, and Mindy's about to wake up locked in a trunk, moving with no idea where she's going. When she finally comes to, it's dark and cramped and the car is on some back road. She finds a duffel bag next to her in the trunk, opens it, and inside there are multiple green pocket knives, a child's muddy jersey that says Witter, and other things that don't make sense until they do. Greg Harper isn't just a murderer. He's the one who took Justin Witter. He's the kidnapper that they've been looking for. The detective investigating the case is the person who committed the crime. This is the real twist. Not the Froggers, though that was surprising enough, but the actual gut punch is that Greg's been the monster this whole time. The cop, the father, the seemingly normal guy. He's literally been hiding in plain sight better than Mindy and Alec ever
Crazy
could.
word.
The car then stops. Mindy hears Greg get out, and she quietly pops the trunk and slips out into the woods. Her phone barely has signal, but she gets through to 911. Whispers that she's found the missing boys, that Greg Harper is the kidnapper, and the call drops. Mindy moves through the trees and finds an old trailer hid in the brush. Inside the trailer, locked in makeshift cells, are Justin Witter and another missing kid named Michael King. Both alive, but barely. She's trying to free them when Greg appears behind her, and everything goes dark. Greg then drags Mindy back to his house to clean up loose ends. He wakes her up by splashing water in her face. She's tied to a chair in the living room. Greg's calm, which is somehow worse than if he was angry. He tells her exactly what he's going to do. Frame her and Alec for everything. Todd's murder,
Crazy,
the break-in,
crazy
attacking Connor, and then he shoots her. Just executes her right there. Greg stages the scene to make it look like Mindy was an armed intruder. He's arranging everything when Alex shows up because he couldn't leave Mindy behind. He sneaks in through the back and finds her body.
It's kind of like a crazy situation because it's kind of like when crazy meets crazier. You know what I'm saying? Because you already got to be fucking crazy to just stay in somebody's crib. You feel me? Something off with you. Again, they wasn't like evil like the dad, but shit, you shouldn't have been in there. Wrong place, wrong time. You shouldn't be in nobody's crib.
Grief turns into rage instantly. Alec grabs a fire axe from the garage and goes after Greg. They fight through the house, smashing furniture with blood everywhere. Alec gets
But again, there's one last twist. The last twist is even like crazier. I'm telling y'all gotta watch this movie. It's a good movie.
Good hit with the axe and cuts Greg's arm deep. Greg drops the gun, but Greg's bigger and manages to get Alec on the ground and starts choking him. And that's when Alec sees the gun within reach. He grabs it and shoots Greg twice in the chest. Greg falls back, dying. For the first time, actually looks at Alec's face. Like, really looks at it, and you can see the recognition hit him. He knows who this is. The movie's been building to this reveal the whole time, and it lands perfectly. Alec was one of the 2 boys Greg kidnapped 15 years ago. The other one was Tommy Braun, who had the panic attack when he saw Greg earlier. Alec didn't randomly choose the Harper house to squat it. He knew exactly whose house it was. This was revenge from the start. The frogging, the pranks, all of it was Alec trying to expose Greg or drive him crazy, or both. What makes this tragic is that Alec's plan gets Mindy
Yeah, she just got caught in the crossfire.
killed. This need for revenge destroys the one person trying to keep him safe. And now he shot a cop, which means even though Greg's dead, Alec's probably going to prison. Nobody wins here. Police then burst in. Detective Spitsky's leading them. He sees Greg dead and sees Alec holding the gun and shoots him. He hits Alec in the shoulder and drops him. But before Alec passes out, he locks eyes with Spitsky, and Spitsky finally recognizes him. One of the boys they rescued all those years ago, the kid Greg claimed to have saved. Other cops search the woods based on Mindy's broken 911 call, and they find the trailer. Justin Witter and Michael King are still alive, barely, but they are alive. They get pulled out and rushed to hospitals. Back at the house, Jackie and Connor show up to police tape and ambulances and their entire life in ruins. Greg's dead on the floor. The truth about what he did is spreading through every officer on the scene. Jackie's trying to process that her husband was a serial child kidnapper, that she was married to this person for years and never knew. The movie ends with that
Crazy
wait.
word.
There's no happy resolution, no triumphant music. Just Jackie standing in her house that's now a crime scene, holding Connor, both of them destroyed by what Greg did. The boys are rescued, but they'll carry this trauma forever. Alec killed his abuser, but lost everything in the process. And Mindy's dead, all because she tried to help someone she cared about. That's what makes I See You different than most horror movies. There is no catharsis. The monster's dead, but it doesn't fix.
Yeah, and it just feel like more of like a realistic story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the realism to it. Like movies that have a way to like make it feel like some shit that could be like real, that really happens, as well as like a crazy twist like that. Fucking 10 out of 10. Great movie.
Anything. The damage is permanent. This is a real life situation. Greg destroyed his own family, killed Mindy, and ruined Alec's chance at any kind of normal life. The last shot is Jackie's face as she realizes her entire marriage was a lie. Every moment, every memory, now poisoned by the truth. It's bleak and it's honest because this is what happens when evil hides that well. By the time it's exposed, everyone's already broken. But that doesn't explain why this movie is so good. You could have all these twists and still have a horrible movie. The reason this works is not the twist. Well, okay, yeah, the twist helps. But what actually makes I See You terrifying is how real it feels. Frogging is an actual thing that happens. Not often, thankfully, because I would never sleep again, but it happens. People have found strangers living in their attics, their basements, their crawl spaces. There was a case in Japan where a woman lived in someone's closet for a year. A whole year. Could you imagine opening your closet right now and finding someone just staring at you while you sleep? The homeowner only found the girl in Japan because he set up cameras to figure out why his food kept disappearing. That's the first layer of horror. Your home isn't safe. The place where you're supposed to be the most secure could have someone in it right now, and you'd have no idea. Every weird noise, every missing item, every moment you feel like you're being watched, maybe you were right. The deeper horror is Greg, the trusted detective, the family man, the guy investigating the very crimes he committed. That is not supernatural. That's just evil hiding behind a badge and a smile. It happens.
Yep. So all in all, great movie, man. Again, if y'all have not seen this movie, go watch it. I just love the realism as well as the plot twist. Kind of messed up situation. Only person, I don't even feel bad for the wife because she was on some weird shit with cheating on her husband. But only person I feel bad for is Connor, the son. He got to grow up with knowing that his pops was a murderer and lying to him his whole life. But all around good movie. Like I said, I love the realism and the plot twist.